Welcome to Your Music Saved Us, where two friends blast ourselves into the past to relive and recontextualize the alternative Christian music we grew up listening to in the 1990s. Brushing back a tear as he practices in a mirror to be very sincere is my good friend, Jay. How you doing?
I'm stunned. What was that, Clifton?
Some lyrics, some lyrics from this album.
Okay, wow, all right.
You don't recognize them? Have you not been digging deep into this album, Jay?
I mean, I thought I had, but it was just maybe it was coming out of your mouth. I don't know.
Okay.
Was that the finish line?
It was like, I don't think that's one of the songs we're covering, but anyway.
It is. And here to help us evolve from merely self-righteous to perfectly smug is a returning guest, Chaz.
I was really hoping that you would drop some smug on me, and I absolutely love that.
I felt it fit.
Yeah, if there's one song I can identify with, it's definitely the smug song.
Me too. Can't wait till we get to it. And woe to you, proud mortal, who joins us at this peep show. You're in for a treat. For today, we look askance at what, Jay?
Steve Taylor's 1993 album, Squint.
1993, it puts a lot into context with the name drops. There's so many name drops in this album.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Why are there so many name drops? Anyways, okay.
That's like a Steve Taylor thing, though. That he does that a lot in his music.
Well,
so
it ruins the timelessness of this already timeless album, you know?
it's like the Dead Kennedy singing about Reagan, and you're like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I can still get behind some fuck Reagan. I mean, come on. All right, Jay, and where can the good people go to find this album to listen to if they so wanted to?
It seems to be everywhere. It's on Spotify. Yeah.
Yeah? All right. Go to your local music streaming service. Jay's lights are blinking, by the way, y'all. All right.
It's that cash cow coming to get you.
Yeah. Chaz, was this played in your youth group?
Yes, sort of.
Oh.
So it was played at the Pentecostal school I went to. I want to say we did one of the songs. I even want to say it might be Cash Cow that we did for mime. We
nice.
might have just practiced it and it just didn't work.
Did you do like utter squeezing?
I don't even remember, but that would have been great. Yeah.
This is a good dance. I'm going to use this from now on.
Hell yeah. Do that in the club.
Yeah.
But I do remember listening to it in that group. But the other youth group I went to with the Christian Missionary Alliance, they weren't down with Steve Taylor. So, but it was mostly listen to myself more than anything.
Little too hardcore for them.
Yeah, they couldn't handle the moshing floor.
Yeah, it's edgy stuff here.
Yeah,
I mean, mine did not play it, and they would have thought it was edgy. So
really?
I have to be honest, Chaz. I'm like a little bit impressed. I don't know about the mime thing, but the fact that it was to Cash Cow, I mean, it's kind of cool.
It is
right?
kind of
yeah,
cool.
But yeah. I really think that they missed messages a lot. I'm pretty sure.
So, like that's
Yeah, I was gonna say that's almost progressive. I mean,
right.
Yeah, this was not. I don't know why it wasn't played in my youth group, but maybe they just didn't know about it. Probably, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Steve, we'll talk about it, but like he kind of just disappeared for quite a while, and kind of fell out of the light of like 5 years where he didn't produce anything or put out anything. So that kind of makes sense. But I think that the youth
he
group
had that
I was
one album.
Yeah,
where he was making a Masonic symbol with his hand or something like
that.
that.
Yeah, 80, and that was in 87. So, I think maybe that would have been part of it. But that church, the Pentecostal school, was really into Steve Taylor's older stuff. So they were really anti-racist, even though they were very racist. So,
It's funny that happens a lot.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was when I was scrolling through what we'll talk about later on social media today. I came across something that says that people only want to talk about Pride Month in the same way they want to talk about the civil rights movement, and that's something that's already solved, and we've always been on the right side of it.
amen.
Okay.
All right,
Right side of history. That's something that I always think the church is. Always on the
Exactly.
right side of history.
It's never been on the wrong side. Jay, speaking of the right side of history, are we getting preached at?
Yeah, sort of. I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll get there.
I like
Maybe
that
a more-
answer.
Maybe in like a more clever way, but yes.
Yeah, you're right. It's not mean.
Right.
Well,
Mm,
it's mean to some people.
Yeah.
It's not, I was going to say it's not punching down. Shit, it is punching down. It's less punching down than normal.
there's a lot more punching up than
There
a
we go.
normal Christian artist would ever do.
I mean, it's
Which
like
is any at all.
it's like wearing a
Yeah.
velvet glove while he's doing the punching. You know, it's yeah.
Yeah. There we go. We nailed it. All right, before we get into this thing, I'll remind everyone to visit patreon.com/YMSU to contribute and get extended episodes. And one of these days, we'll do those special episodes we've always been talking about. Chaz, you're a member. Why are you a member?
Yo, I feel you. I can't get fucking shit done on any of our Instagram stuff. Not Instagram stuff, sorry, Patreon stuff.
You guys put out so much content. Like you do 6 times the work we
Wait,
do.
we should pause right now. What are we talking about? What is Chaz when you say he does all the? We
sorry,
haven't introduced
Chaz.
his.
Where the hell are you from? Why are you here?
I host a podcast called The Excommunication Station where Chrissy and I talk about, I think we've honed it down to like evangelical culture and all the things that surround it. The
positive aspects.
Yeah, all the positive aspects. We love that's what we're all about. Well, we just did a serial killer episode, and we have a new series starting next week. I don't know when this is coming out, but
Soon.
Soon. By the time this comes out, we've started our Christian Nazi episode, where we're gonna draw a line from the very early church to the Holocaust, and then the Holocaust to our own world that we live in now. Not necessarily the Trump aspect, but our evangelical culture that we grew up in.
Mm.
So it took a long time to do, and I'm pretty excited about it. So, I hope everybody that listens to this will join us on that.
Now, Chaz, I have it under good authority that the Nazis were not Christians. They were all occultists. So you might be wrong.
I think that's the first thing I said when we started talking about it when Chrissy and I recorded the other day. I was like, popular opinion might say that they were either occultist or Catholics or godless, ruled by Satan. I was like, but you know what? The demographics say that they were an evangelical country.
All right.
So, yes, it'll be fun. So join us then. So,
Nice.
But yeah, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. And thanks for letting me plug.
Of course. Jay remembered. Good job, Jay. All right. Who's going to tell us a little bit about this Steve Taylor dude?
Chaz is.
I am. I wrote some stuff here, guys. If you want
No
to
way.
Yeah. Who believe that or not?
Is it a couple hours long? Should we?
Yes. Strap in for the next 3 hours. We're going to go through every single Steve Taylor album and song all the way up until Squint. Steve Taylor is the CCM heavyweight, but it's almost impossible for anyone to escape his work through the 90s and early 2000s, even if you weren't a Christian, because of his production work with the Newsboys, Guardian, Chevelle, and Sixpence None the Richer. Roland Stephen Taylor was born on December 9th, 1957, to a deeply religious family as his father was a Baptist minister. Taylor's family would move from Southern California to the Denver suburbs in the early 60s, and as a teen, he really got into music and learned how to play various instruments and how to write his own songs. He would go to a conservative Christian college, Biola University, for 1 year. That summer, he had a life-changing experience. Hollywood entertainer, singer, and game show host John Davidson was hosting a summer camp for aspiring singers on Catalina Island. Davidson... was it Catalina Helicopter Show, or what was that on Step Brothers?
I have no clue. My only association with Catalina Island is when Buster Bluth gets on the wrong bus.
Well, Davidson would say like that this would be like American Idol before American Idol, but without the voting. Taylor was one of 100 selected out of 20,000 applicants. Taylor spent the camp performing to and being critiqued by Tony Orlando, John Davidson himself, and the mom of the 70s, Florence Henderson from the Brady Bunch. So Taylor quit Biola after that summer and came back to Colorado, where he would get his Bachelor's of Arts in Music and Theater from the University of Colorado. So that's how he would start his music career and would change his life. So interesting. I wonder what it was like on Catalina Island with all those cocaine and bush hair everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. you know, with that lineup, there was some little grab and tickle going on. You know.
Oh my God, absolutely. Every time they went up to go talk to one of the female people there, they're just like kissing them on the lips. Oh, I've seen those 70s game shows.
Exactly.
Taylor would try his hand at writing, and he would write a comedy play based on the prodigal son. So, you know, the most comical story in the Bible. Right. He would write articles for the Christian satirical magazine, The Wittenberg Door, and then for CCM magazine. Taylor would become a youth pastor for a short time and continued with his music and wrote some demos that got into the hands of Billy Ray Hearn at Sparrow Records, and he signed Taylor to a contract. He loves Taylor's new wave pop sound that was absent from the Christian market and is said to have, quote, brought Christian music into the 80s. So, for good or bad, I guess.
What year was this that it finally got into the 80s?
1995. No.
Yeah. I think this is like 82. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Taylor would be... Oh, I already did that. Taylor was sent to record with closeted KKK member, violent right-wing training compound runner, and a man who ran cover for a hate crime, Jonathan David Brown, to record his first EP, I Want to Be a Clone. And Taylor instantly became a lightning rod for controversy as he started his career by calling out Christians for church shopping with steeplechasing, and Christians who just wanted to follow evangelical trends and don't grow or think with the title track, I Want to Be a Clone. So
is that clone with a K?
No. It's just 3 Ks in a row. Yeah. Do you guys remember that episode we did on Jonathan David Brown? I don't know if you guys ever listened to that or not.
Yes.
So yeah,
it's traumatic.
Yeah, real shitty dude. His next album, 1984's Meltdown, once again and ironically was done by Jonathan David Brown, and he even sang on it because it features We Don't Need No Color Code, where Taylor calls out Bob Jones University by name for being overtly racist. So,
just a comedy of fuckery.
Yeah. It's like you're patting the guy on the back for
Yeah.
doing something so simple. But at the same time, it's just like, holy shit, like you actually did that? He would also call out televangelists and the industry with the song Guilty by Association. He put out On the Fritz in 1985 and pissed off Bill Gothard and his whole world with the song I Manipulate. And then he released I Predict 1990 in the year 1987. I Predict pissed off a lot of people from all over the Christian world. The artwork is the first issue, as it was done by Taylor's wife. She painted a picture of Taylor to resemble early 20th century French artwork. And Taylor's Christian enemies claimed that it was a tarot card and that the album itself had secret messages from Satan on it. As it does. Jimmy Swaggart would even call him out personally in his anti-Christian rock book that came out the same year in 1987. And Swaggart would fall to his own bravado and his own temptations that same year too. So I can't wait till we do a Jimmy Swaggart episode. Yeah. What a fucking scumbag. Anyway. Taylor was openly pro-life, writing a number of pro-life songs up to that point. He got the whole pro-life movement pissed off at him with the opening satirical track of I Blew Up the Clinic Real Good. This song would force him to cancel his Australian tour in 1987 as the satire was missed. I guess it goes the opposite way down there. His record was pulled from a number of Christian bookstores, and Taylor would spend his free time calling and writing bookstores trying to plead his case. And then Taylor quit the Christian music industry in 1990. He would form a secular band called Cheval Guevara. Their first song, Tale of the Twister, would end up on the classic Pump Up the Volume soundtrack, which is fucking wild. Jesus Christ, that's a great soundtrack too. And you're just like, what the hell? In 1991, they released a self-titled album. The band started working on the second album before they broke up. Taylor had his attention on the Newsboys, and he started working on the 1992 album that put them on the CCM map, Not Ashamed. He would start directing music videos with the Newsboys, Rich Mullins, Dakota Motor Company, and according to IMDb, the 1991 Motorhead video for I'm So Bad, Baby, I Don't Care.
That's got to be a mistake.
I spent like a half hour today trying to find out who the fuck directed that video, and I can't find anything else but that.
I mean, I would be claiming that more if I was Steve.
Yeah.
That was really...
There's some scantily clad women in it. That's the one thing where I'm just
okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Steve Taylor's got to be a pretty common name. There's just some other Steve Taylor.
Yeah, I don't know. But you think he would have fixed that by now, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Taylor wanted to get back into making his own music. That was Christian based, and in 1993, he would write, in my opinion, the best CCM album of all time. We can argue about that if you guys want to. And that would be the album Squint. And one thing I want to point out before we move forward here is that Steve Taylor's a fucking asshole. I admire him for speaking truth to power, but anyone outside the Christian faith, he is punching down on you and hard. It's really evident in Newsboys lyrics like Shine. It's going to come up in this album, and I wanted to acknowledge the bipolar nature of Steve Taylor before we move on, because I think we're going to praise him sometimes maybe in this album.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, and that's all I have.
No, you're very right. He is, he will speak truth to power in his own circle, but then it's like, but other people are not real people.
Yeah.
And basically, you know?
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely 100%. So,
all right.
But yeah, that's where we are with Steve Taylor up to this point.
Thank you very much, Jazz.
Thank you. I hope I did okay.
I mean, who could have done better, really? You know,
Steve Taylor.
Okay. No, he could have lied. We don't trust people with their own histories.
Yeah.
All right. Jay, when did this album come into your life?
Well, Clifton, as a youngster, I had a subscription to CCM magazine.
As you do.
And being a pubescent, kid, I was looking for something more, as the kid said at the time, alternative.
Mm.
And it seemed like Steve Taylor might be it. He had longer hair, and they did a lot of coverage of this album as it was coming out. And I mean, just look at the album cover, right? It's weird font, dude on a camel. This had to be alternative. So, Clifton, I think I bought this around when it came out, maybe late 93.
Wow.
I'm 13 years old. I'm in 7th grade. And like, I know we're not to the music yet, but man, when those first guitar chords came in, boom, heavy alternative rock.
Oh, is that what it is?
I had found it. I found my Kurt Cobain.
There it is.
His name was Steve Taylor.
I read that note. I read that line in your notes, Jay, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to react to this in real time.
Oh, man. I love that so much.
Chaz, do you have a similar story of being a 14-year-old, a 13-year-old kid, or 12-year-old kid with a CCM magazine subscription? And
did not have the subscription, but I had the Pentecostal school. They, for some reason, this one family I hung out with always get like the new records for some reason of like, so I would always borrow from them and then just tape them.
Nice.
So that's what I would do. So I remember I had Steve Taylor on the cassette tape for that album, and then later on I had the Liver album that came after this, the Live album. I actually bought that. I had that on cassette. So.
With money. Wow.
Yeah, my own money.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, having a resource of someone that you can just tape stuff off of, that's a pretty good resource. I like that.
Yeah. I used to just go to the public library across the street and would borrow their secular tapes and then bring them home and record them on random tapes and just slip them back in just slip them back in the because the Pentecostal school was right across the street from the library. So before school, I would sneak up there and just slide the tape in so nobody knew I would have it to the book return, and then I'd just go to school.
Oh my!
The things we do in evangelical culture.
Yeah, living that double life early. Exactly. Yeah.
Chaz, you remember the first time you heard this?
Yes.
Good. I'm so glad.
Yeah. It was after youth group. And
like an evening after youth group.
Yeah. It was always Friday night, and I was just hanging out. We would always hang out and play basketball afterwards usually, and they would just usually play whatever they had. So it was like Petra, Guardian, usually that kind of stuff. And then they just put this on, and I think I listened to like the first 2 or 3 tracks, and I was really into it. And then I saw the videos on whatever cheap, shitty Christian video show we had. Oh, yeah. And I know I saw Bannerman and Cash Cow definitely. And I was just like, yeah, this is what I'm all about. And I was really anti, and I've always been like anti-money, and like just hearing Cash Cow, like we'll get into that later, but that was just like, yes, like somebody's actually speaking how I feel in this evangelical world, even at like 12 or 13 years old.
Yeah. I didn't experience this album until a couple days ago. But I can imagine like if I was that age, like, because even when 5 Iron Frenzy came out, and like that was the most, like truth to power thing I'd ever heard in my life, except for maybe like MXPX's Money Tree or something like that. You know, I can imagine that this would have been formative. You can kind of, having someone put not just voice but like music and like message, like there's power behind that. Yeah.
I would think there's a couple Christian artists, but he's one of the very few that I ever listen to him. It's just like I support what you're saying, and I feel it in me, like what you're saying is 100% true. And he was one of the very few people that I felt that way with, on certain songs.
Right.
Definitely not all of them.
Jay, what about you? Was this a big part of your 13-year-old life?
Yeah, like I loved this I listened to it so much. I think it was just like, again, that time period of my life where I'm like wanting to get, I think I, talked about Newsboys. I think I'd had that Not Ashamed, and that was like the most alternative I got until I got this, and I was like, oh, I found something edgier. And so I love this. I listened to it a ton. I ended up picking up Chagall Guevara like after this, and then also got, I think that next year he came out with that The Truth Can Be Told kind of like best hit, greatest hits type thing. So I got that and kind of went back through his 80s stuff because I was just too young to know any of his stuff prior to this, but definitely got into some of those songs as well. And so, yeah, I was like pretty big Steve Taylor fan for a couple of years, like was very, very into this.
Yeah, and it's really weird. Like when you listen to his producing, you can almost like through Guardian, Newsboys, his own stuff, and a couple other albums, like you can almost tell this is the Steve Taylor album. I don't know what it is, but it's just the production sound that he has. Where I'm just like, I listened to Guardian Buzz the other day for some reason, and I was just like, this is absolutely a Steve Taylor album. Like I can tell by the production, the writing of the songs, the lyrics. They're trying to be smarter than the normal Guardian lyrics, And the same thing happened with the Newsboys, where their lyrics went from the cheesiest bullshit you can come up with to like, wow, he's actually rhyming stuff that I've never heard rhymed before, and like he's talking about shit I've never heard about. So he is such a big influence on some of the biggest bands, but almost taking over them too at the same time.
Yeah. Like you can, I had the thought over and over again, especially on a couple of songs, which we'll talk about when we get to them, that like if you just added an Aussie accent to this, it would just be the Newsboys.
Which is would this be a Newsboys album, or is the Newsboys a Steve Taylor album?
Right.
Like which is which? And I think it's Steve Taylor than anything.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's hard not to make that argument, especially about, I would say more about Take Me to Your Leader than probably the first two of the Steve Taylor Newsboys album, But yeah, I think it's just so much there. All right, Jay, any of these songs stood out in your memory over the years?
Like all of them. So this is not anything I've really revisited, but going back to it for this, I was like singing along. It's one of those things where like all the lyrics came back to me. I was just like, shit, like I know almost all the lyrics to all these songs. Yeah. Like there's a couple that I had kind of skipped back in the day when I listened to it, one of which we're actually going to cover on the thing you'll see when we get to it. But yeah, most of the songs I knew. So I Bannerman, the first one, like the first song, the Desmond RG, like all these songs, I knew.
What about you, Chaz? Have you gone back to it over the years?
Oh yeah. Like I still, it's one of those very few CCM albums that I would still listen to if I had a chance. And like now thanks to YouTube and everything, I've revisited a number of times, even before coming on, like even talking about this with you guys. And I don't know, like the Smug, like I think some of the songs are still really good. Like I like the one song we're not going to talk about, but there's a really awesome bass line in it. I think it's clean. Is it Curses? I think it's near the end.
I was surprised when we're talking about Curses. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit, that's a great bass line. Yeah. But like, it's looking at that kind of now, it's way all over the place. Yes. A lot more over the place than I remembered it being.
Same. Yeah.
It seemed more cohesive when I was younger, but listening to it now, I'm like, you're doing a lot of things on this.
I think it does have a voice,
Yeah.
That we'll see as we get into it. But yeah, he definitely takes a stroll through a lot of genre influences.
Mm-hmm.
And some just borrowing.
Yeah.
Well,
right. Get to one.
Well, Jason, you hadn't listened to it in a while. How did it stand up to your memory?
I I think the biggest thing, spoiler alert, is it was not nearly as aggressive or heavy as I remember it being.
Yeah.
I mean, in my mind, I was like, this is a solid alternative rock album. I was listening to it, going back to it, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, anyway, even in the first song, which I think has the like kind of crunchiest guitar
Yes,
tone,
it
you know,
does,
that
yeah.
style, but even towards the end of that song, I was like, what the fuck are they doing now? Like, this is not. But again, when you're like 12 and 13 and don't, you know, you grew up in the church, you don't have the background in this stuff. This is the heaviest thing you've heard to this point. Yeah. So that, I think that was my biggest surprise, was like, oh, that, and like Chad said, I'm like, this is all over the place. Like song by song, I'm like, what genre is this?
Yeah.
So yeah.
12-year-old Jay's like, you have Pearl Jam 10. I've got Steve Taylor Squint.
That really was kind of what it was like. Yeah.
I'll put this up against Nevermind any day.
Exactly.
Looking back on it, it's, oh man, it doesn't sit very well. Couple of these songs, like there's a couple that we're gonna go over, I'm like, yeah, that's not cool. But other than that, I think production wise, I think it still holds up.
It's well produced.
Yeah, it's lyrically, some of the songs I think do, but like a lot of them, like in retrospect, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty shitty. That's not cool.
I almost think we have to separate two things here as we talk about the lyrics. And one is the art of lyric writing.
Mm-hmm.
And the other is the things he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because his
Yeah.
art of lyric writing is on point.
It's
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as Christian lyrics go, even secular lyrics go,
Yeah.
he's very good at what he does.
Yeah.
And it shines, and yeah, oh man, I said shines through, but yeah, it definitely shines through with the Newsboys also, and you know, Sixpence None the Richer too, because he wrote that basically wrote that album, that Kiss Me album with them.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow. Might
So
have like a whole Steve Taylor.
He's doing fine. Let's just say
continuum.
that.
Yeah.
He's doing fine.
He retired off of Kiss Me, probably. All right. Well, let's get into this thing. We'll start with the most rockin' song on the album. Jay, why don't you kick it off? The Lament of Desmond R.G. Underwood, Frederick IV.
Okay. I just want you to get ready. This is going to be hard-hitting, distorted guitar riffs. Like, this is it. The drums are going to be following the guitar. Like, I'm not sure you're going to be able to handle this.
Yeah.
So
It's crunchy as fuck.
It is. So just get ready. Right? I mean,
You know what, though? That actually, they've calmed it down, but that actually has kind of like a fuzzed out guitar there.
Do you remember that Magnavox commercial where the guy sits down in the chair and then
Yeah,
the speakers
gets blown
blow his
away.
hair back?
Yeah.
That's how I felt when you turned that on.
Yeah, like Marty McFly hitting that
Yeah.
chord on the.
Yep.
I mean,
the-
7th grade Jay, that's about how he felt. Like,
When I first turned this song on, my first thought was, good, sanded off edges, good deal.
I feel like I've heard that riff like 1,000 times though.
That is a standard rock and roll riff.
Yeah.
I think that was the thing coming back to it now. It's like, oh, this, like, yeah, has been played so many times.
Yeah.
But
It is, though, at least, you can at least hear the Steve Taylor, like you said, in the production, because it's, you know, it doesn't sound as, it is a blues rock kind of progression, but it doesn't sound blues rocky in his hands, at least. I'll say that. I say that because blues rock annoys me, so I was not annoyed for that reason by this.
so I will say you stopped while it still sounded a little grungy,
Uh-huh.
because pretty much after that, you start adding in another guitar and these effects where it no longer sounds like grunge.
Let's hear it.
Pretty much for the rest of the song.
Day might have been okay. I was starting to track with my inner guy. I was getting in touch with my feminine
Kind of psychedelic
side.
kind of
When the
guitar.
doctor starts whistling happy trails, tends to knock the bitter wind out of your sails.
Get that fucking tambourine in there too. That was
Right,
That
yeah.
was a star on this song.
Kind of loses all its edge pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was some pretty. Yeah, it does sound kind of psychedelic. You're right. It's very. I think it's that new wave that he's bringing to the equation here. You know, finally, 1993 Christian music is in the 80s.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
The chorus is coming up, Jay. Should we talk about
Oh,
it?
God.
It's
Yeah, it's not the best on this album, but it's
it
like
is not.
maybe not the worst either, though. I mean, it's
There were songs
It's-
I was mad I listened to because I didn't know what songs we were gonna listen. We were talking about when I first listened to it. You know, and yeah. So you're right. There's not the worst song on the album. Yeah. All right. Here's the chorus.
There's a ray for maybe so blind. Gotta have baggy agnostic front. Underwood, Hollywood, Undertaker. Ready, get ready to meet your maker.
Do you like the?
yeah,
there?
like the keyboard doesn't sound bad, but it totally, to me at least, changes the mood of the song from that
Mhm.
early like riff to like something a lot happier.
Goes from like
Isn't that what new wave does?
grunge
You're
to not counting crows, the black crows or whatever they're fucking just jamming
I don't know
away.
what that is.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to throw this out now. This is not necessarily about this song, but I'm curious. Are there any bridges on any of these songs we've done? I'm not actually sure there are.
This is the only one I wrote bridge on, actually.
Okay, and I'm not even sure it is on this. It's interesting. The more we go through it, it's like, oh, this is interesting. We have a key change on this song, right?
There's a keychain on almost every song.
Yeah, which is
where
another-
we get very Newsboys.
Different thing that I'm not so used to. I'm trying to see what else I have on here. Oh, I do want to make sure. So a couple things towards the end. I don't know if we're ready past 3 minutes in this song. I don't
No,
know if-
let's talk about our because the thing that's kind of a bridge on here I wrote is intro/bridge into wobbly thing.
Okay.
Meet your maker.
That whole part sounded like something Dakota Motor Company would have written.
Yeah, but like, is that
Huh.
a bridge? Because it's just repeating the
No.
same
No.
background music, right?
No.
It's
Yeah.
it's like it's doing the job of a bridge,
Right.
but it's just the intro, and then like and at least it wasn't a guitar solo. It was just kind of a, and then the jet engine comes in. I guess I don't know. It was kind of boring.
Yeah, he does that on multiple songs. It's just
Yeah.
like continuing the part from before. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
you guys like to
No,
talk about
no.
bridges on the show, and I was like listening purposely this week to all the songs, and I was just like, are there bridges on here
Yeah.
to talk about? And I'm like, there's not really.
Like I'm a fan of a good bridge,
Yeah.
And
Good
the
Yeah.
place for guitar solo. But
guitar solo. Okay, so the chorus comes back here, and then the chorus happens again, but with a key change, y'all.
mhm.
There's a ray for maybe so blind. Gotta have baggy agnostic front. Underwood, Hollywood, Undertaker. Ready, get ready to meet your maker. There's a ray for maybe so blind. Gotta have baggy
I didn't think you were ever going to stop. So that last part,
You can't stop on a
The
good
kinda-
time.
Yeah.
the crazy dancey part. I remember the first time I replayed this for this episode, I was like, what the fuck is this? I thought this song was heavy, alternative. It sounds like fucking like circus tune or something at this part. Like, yeah, I
It's a
don't know what the
Pentecostal
hell
revival.
they were doing there. It's yeah, basically.
It's not as bad as Jeff Moore in the Distance.
I mean,
Oh,
that's a
no.
low bar, Clifton.
Well, the
That's what I was
CCM
listening
bar
to
is
at
not
this
very
age.
high, Jay.
But it's not a lot better than Jeff Moore in the Distance. In fact, it has similarities to Jeff Moore in the Distance.
yeah.
hmm
And there was
Mhm.
one part right before that where it sounded like a bomb was hitting. Did you hear
Yes.
that? Like, shh,
hmm
Yeah.
that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then we got the crazy Pentecostal revival or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Praise God.
Love it.
At least it was wild, like it may not have been rock and roll, but it was wild.
Okay.
Let's say that.
Yeah.
It was something.
I think it was the best part of the song.
Sure.
Our Now we have lyrics to talk about. And let me tell you
Goddamn.
about the lyrics in this album. Like too long, didn't read. Hope you're good with that. Like, good luck, whatever. I don't know. Like, they're so fucking long.
But I mean, we're
Alright.
also giving him credit for being a good
right.
lyricist. So,
I'll read these fucking lyrics and then we can talk about them.
Yeah.
Okay. Ah, the news of my impending death came at a really bad time for me. Yeah, the news of my impending death any other day might have been okay. I was starting to track with my inner guide. I was getting in touch with my feminine side. But when the doctors started to whistle happy trails, tends to take a bit out of the old cells. Desiree, if I may be so blunt. Galahad, bag your agnostic front. Underwood, hire a good undertaker. Freddie, get ready to meet your maker. Ah, the news of my impending death came at a really bad time for me. I was far too young to depreciate when they read me my expiration date. I'd built Iron Man stalls in the northern wild. I'd played Cabbage Patch dolls with my inner child. I like that line. Now I'm getting sealed bids for a granite vault, and I'm pretty sure this is my parents' fault. Ah, the news of my impending death came at a really bad time for me. When they cancel your breathing policy, tends to still a bit of the old joie de vivre. I just found the lost key to my mythic life, so I bravely shook free of my kids and wife. I had seminars booked as a second career, until a still small voice screamed loud and clear.
That was amazing. I loved it.
Thank you.
Rather listening to that than the song again.
It's even this is all over the place.
A
Which
little
is
bit.
fine,
Yeah.
I guess. Pretty straightforward here. Someone's dying and they gotta come to grips with that, Although I feel like it's more about like midlife crisis. Like you in your midlife you have to come to terms with the fact that you're gonna die, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. This to me is like classic asshole Steve Taylor. So like
Yes.
this is where he's punching down.
A
This
lot.
this to me is Shine Part 2. Where he makes fun of people with mental health issues.
Yeah.
And this is a lot of the same stuff that he's doing in this song. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the lines, I was starting to track with my inner guide. I was getting in touch with my feminine side are pretty assholish,
Mm-hmm.
And it's in that very easy 90s Christian way of just being like, look at those fuckers over there thinking they're like getting to know themselves. Yeah.
I know he said it was a critique on the self-help movement, but at the same time, you're very 100% right that the evangelical church, especially during this time, was even far behind the secular world of making fun of mental health treatment, and they still do it to this day.
do. You know why? At least in my view, it's competition.
Yeah.
This is our lane, buddies.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones here preying on the weak and vulnerable. Get out of our lane.
Do you guys want to hear from Steve's? Well, not his mouth.
Well, we're not done here yet. Wait.
I was going to share why he wrote the song.
Is it because of the last fucking line? Until a still small voice screams loud and clear.
Well, I can tell you what he said, Clifton. Are you ready?
Okay.
He said the song, quote, "Song is about a guy who has sort of spent all his time in various self-help movements trying to find his inner self, and then he finds out he's going to die. And it's sort of like, wow, so I spent all this time trying to find myself, and now I'm going to die. I wonder if I made a big mistake here." And the chorus is like the voice of God coming back and reminding him, get ready because this is it. Sort of a dialogue between a poor sap and God. Ultimately, a lot of these things just become replacements for God, and of course they don't work. And so it's taking a little fun at those guys that beat on drums and take their shirts off in the woods. Sure, why not? I think they're idiots.
Yeah, sure. Like, I see those people on Instagram, and they're easy to laugh at. Like those type of people that scream, those men that scream at each other in the woods. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about people that are like, because he did it in Shine too, where he made fun of schizophrenics, and I'm like, and like the part where this is my parents' fault, and I'm like, you've never been in an abusive relationship? Probably he never has, but like he's never been in an abusive household or any type of like strife between parents, and you could. It's another evangelical thing of not acknowledging your environment as being of producing what it does. So,
this is a response to a straw man, like a Hollywood straw man, right?
Yeah.
The Hollywood straw man of moving from one self-help movement to the other. You know, if those people exist, they're like 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000 kind of people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And even if they do exist, fuck you, you know? Like, you know, like...
They're not hurting you.
Right. Like, they're not hurting, right?
Yeah.
It you know, it reminds me of what Kurt Vonnegut, his view of life is we're all just here to mess around, you know, and have some fun, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah... I mean, I can understand where he's coming from, but I think that this is a very dark worldview, you know, of saying, you know what? I tried to make myself better. I tried to become a better person. I tried to like wrestle my inner demons. But really, in the end, this life is just a tryout to see whether or not we get into heaven or not.
Yeah, that's what I really didn't like about it. It's like, these are talking about people that are trying to make themselves better. Mm-hmm. And yet...
Because they're probably suffering.
Yeah, this is 92, 93, you know, therapy was not a normalized, it's not even 100% normalized today, you know, but especially when it comes to men.
Yeah.
So I just, this song, listening to it again, it really bothered me, especially like since we did our Newsboys series and you guys did your thing on the Newsboys, and that Shine, it's such an asshole song of, I'm gonna make fun and poke at everybody that I don't like, but look at us and how great we are with the Lord, and you want to be like us too, don't you? Let's poke at everybody else too.
Look at all these assholes out here trying to find the meaning to life. Obviously, guys, the meaning is, are you going to love Jesus so you can get into heaven?
Yep.
And this life is pointless. Obviously.
Yep. And in the end, God or Jesus is going to fix all those things.
Yeah.
You know, and I think we all know that that's not how it works. You know, if I was still in the church, they would have had me gone back into the relationship with my mother and stepfather, which is
Right.
clearly not something good for me. You know, and it's just like, well, you can't blame your parents for that. And like, yes, you can. I
And
can
this is-
most certainly can.
Well, yeah, and that was that. The whole blame your parents thing is a whole nother conversation, right? Because there's just so many levels to it. Like you said, like were you raised in an abusive household? First off, right? That's one thing. That's just something that Steve Taylor probably is not prepared to just deal with
No.
at all, right?
All he has is platitudes and stories that he's heard.
Right, yeah. But also just like we are all shaped by our childhood, like it or not, you know, like
Mhm.
and kids don't come with instruction manuals, as they like to say. It's fine if like, yeah, it probably is our parents' fault, you know? Like that's not necessarily it doesn't have to be life altering, especially if the parent just goes, you know what, yeah, I made some mistakes along the way.
Mhm.
You know,
Right
it's yeah, exactly.
Got 2 kids, I know.
It's the parents' fault thing comes from the you ungrateful bitch kind of thing with
Mhm.
I don't know. I was my parents. This is actually a couple times ago when my parents visited. We were sitting around the table having breakfast, and my mom just started talking about like all her friends who like have their children have threatened to cut off contact with them and their grandchildren, you know, and like she's like kind of hinting like it's not a good thing that's gonna happen here, right? You know, kind of thing, you know.
Well,
Watch out, Mom.
Oh, although
yeah,
I did,
and that's become a cottage industry too.
Yeah.
Of there's Christians now that are writing books of how to direct your child back to you now that you've been estranged by them.
they've cut you off for being toxic because not the toxicity. I can forgive the toxicity that happened back when you didn't know what you're fucking doing raising a child. But now that I'm an adult and you still want to be like, get the fuck over it kind of thing, you know, and we can't just have a fucking conversation about it. That's the toxicity that everyone's upset about, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think one of the things that really pisses me off about this is that this is back in 1993 when the world was small, like people were isolated, like they are isolated today too, you know, but like at least today you can get on Reddit and be like, is my mom an asshole? You know? And at least you can get a little perspective. It
Yep.
might be insane, but you can get a little perspective, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the thing that Christians in general don't understand when it comes to therapy is that it's not all about sitting around and crying about your bullshit.
No.
A lot of it is trying to figure out how to handle your shit.
Right.
And how to handle certain situations when things pop up, how to time management, how like all these certain things that they don't understand. They're just like, oh, it's just sitting around crying and you're getting in touch with your feminine side. And it's just
Yeah.
like, well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
And second off, like it's a lot more complex than you will ever give it credit for. And it really upsets me when I look at somebody like Steve Taylor, who's apparently supposed to be so open-minded, to be this asshole-ish when it comes to mental health.
But
So.
because this is the progressive side of Christian evangelicalism, American evangelicalism, you know,
Yeah.
like this,
True.
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I was reading these lyrics before, that was the triggering part of this to me is that like this is the guy who's doing the best.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, very true. It's like Japuza, and you're just like, whoa, holy shit.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I wanted to say, because I think I had messaged you this, guys, the initials of this character that we have, Desmond
Oh.
R.G. Underwood Frederick the Fourth, are DRGUF. I personally believe that it stands for don't really give a fuck. And he can't really put A in there because then that's too on the nose and Christians might pick up on that. But I think he put the U there just as a sound. But that's my personal conspiracy when it comes to this song.
Kind of fits. Like, I would say you're wrong, except for I think that's what this song is about. Like, this song is about he didn't give a fuck about these people.
Yeah.
that he's making
yeah.
fun of.
Yeah.
All right,
I
I'm
don't
not
give a-
going to read you the old interview where he tells about it. I'm going to leave it with
What?
this.
I read an interview about why he named the song the certain name, but like I'm just like I think he was being smart and people weren't going to pick up on it.
All right, I like it. I'll leave it. Yeah, we'll stay with that.
Well, then why don't we move on to track 2,
Oh,
Banner
Jesus
Man.
Christ.
Now, I'm just going to say, any illusions I had of this being a heavy alternative rock album have been shattered after listening to the first 10 seconds of this song.
Yeah. This is a pop album.
And I will say, I actually think this is a pretty good song. I think this and the next song, Smug, are the best songs,
Yes.
song-wise.
Mm.
But I actually think
Yeah.
they're pretty good songs, just standalone on their own. But yeah, this is very poppy.
The problem I have with this one is it's almost earwormish.
That's
Oh, it
a
definitely.
problem.
Yeah, a lot of this album is very earwormish.
Why is that a
Yeah.
problem? That's a good song.
Because I don't want to stuck because it's earwormish in that way that it just burrows, you know?
Yeah, Smug has been the one for me
Yeah.
the past week. But, yeah.
Oh, you guys don't know the joy of having Sock Heaven stuck in your head for 3 days in a row.
Nope. Also, I kept hearing Bible Man, not in the song, but when it would earworm into my head, it was coming out as Bible Man. Okay.
Which he really should have taken that and,
Yeah.
and put that on the Bible Man soundtrack.
100%.
go.
Yes. All right. It starts off with these weird
You should just play it.
Okay.
Yeah.
it could almost be like a late Kinks song. Like when the Kinks lost all of their imagination and just started writing circus songs. This is that.
It's got some more psychedelic stuff in it,
Yeah.
carried over from the first song. So I think he's really trying to dive into that a little bit. But that was kind of popular in the early 90s. You know, you have Blind Melon and stuff like
Yeah,
that. That was
But it's also just, isn't it just like psychedelic furs and that kind of bullshit too? I mean, a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Just it's definitely a pop song. It's
Yeah.
it's nothing hard rock or grungy about this at all.
There is some interesting stuff going on though with the instrumentation. Is that like a timpani, that drum that I'm hearing in the background?
That's a great question. Let's isolate it and listen.
Do you hear that one drum?
Yeah, that is a timpani. Yeah, you're right. Very nice.
And that boom, 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 that beat you'll hear through this first verse. And when you kind of pick it up in the background, it's hard not to hear it. And it's kind of fun. It really drives it forward.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit going on in this song, honestly, behind the scenes.
I love how fun this song is.
Yeah.
And the subject matter. It's amazing.
It's a fun song.
One man's grinning from behind the net. Wait till the cameras adjusted. Don't you worry about the flack you'll get. Aren't you scared of getting busted? The ball gets booted, it hits the crossbeam. Up goes the banner, jump 316. Oh, he don't worry about the critic. They told him. He don't worry about the saints. They live to one. He ain't gonna change the world, but he knows he can.
Yeah, so you could hear that boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
behind. And then in the chorus, Clifton, I'm curious, what's going on with the guitar there? It sounds like it's kind of running up the scale, like there's quite a bit of behind the scenes stuff in this song, way more than the first one.
Yeah, it's a walking.
It's very surf rock.
Yeah.
It is, and kind of in that way that like Huey Lewis was taking like old rock and roll and surf rock and kind of mix them all together,
Mhm.
a little bit of new wave and kind of making 80s rock, you know? Because I kept getting Huey Lewis in the News vibes from
Okay.
this.
I could
Yeah.
see that now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, good catch. I'm going to go to the end of the next chorus here.
He ain't gonna change the world, but he knows who can.
Bible Man!
Sports fans everywhere.
I think one of the things that annoys me about this is that I feel like it's written for 13-year-olds.
You're not wrong. I mean, he's
What
not
makes you
right.
say that though?
In that kind, it's silly. Like it's like Animaniacs, right?
Okay.
A little bit.
This has Animaniacs vibes to it.
Well, I mean, like Oingo Boingo could be kind of
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
like even like what they might be giants, like kind of
yeah.
can do like little silly.
But They Might Be
things.
Giants doesn't have the edges sanded off of it, so you get the
Yeah.
tongue in cheekness of it. You know, this is
Yeah.
not tongue in cheek.
No.
Yeah. See,
No.
like good like cute pop and twee and things like that are dark. Like there's a darkness hidden under them, you know? And there's no like sure this may have been produced by someone in the KKK, but there's no darkness hidden under this.
No, this song wasn't.
I know, I'm joking.
The subject matter of the song is the dark part.
All right, we get another verse here that does the exact same thing again.
But like, isn't this the same kind of structure as the first song with that fake bridge?
Yeah,
it's
there's
just
no
like
bridge. I don't think on this entire, well, at least not on the songs we're
No.
covering.
It's just like feedback and like a drum, and then it just goes back into it again.
Yep.
Yeah. A little wild noise making and then back to it. Yeah. But also, it's just the same song structure of every fucking Newsboys song. Verse, chorus, verse, chorus, little thing, chorus, chorus, chorus out.
Mm-hmm.
Key change in there in one of those last three courses. Yeah.
But there's also a reason why Newsboys was so popular, especially with
Because
12
that
and 13-year-old kids.
Yeah. Yes. Because 12 and 13-year-old kids aren't ready for subversive anything, and so non-subversive things that make sense to them, you know? I need to read some more on that. That makes sense to me. Okay.
Write that one down.
Yeah. Note for later. Do preteens understand subversion?
I speaking of S words, this is where I learned what satire was. When learning about Steve Taylor was how Jay learned the word satire. So
Oh, he made you grow, Jay.
he did. He did.
Nice.
Clifton.
Yeah.
That's a heartwarming story.
You owe him something.
All right, I guess we're gonna listen to the last part of the song here because this
Heck
is
yeah.
this is
Yeah.
it, you guys. This is where we're building to.
Can't help praying for another high score. You don't worry about the critic, he'll house the day. You don't worry about the cynic, he ain't gonna change the world, but he knows who can. Batman, he don't worry about the critic. Now he don't worry about the cynic. He ain't gonna change the world, but he knows who can. Batman.
And so, of course, the beautiful part of the songwriting here is that he's kind of taken all the layers that he's built up over the entire song, and then he went back and put the intro weird vocals on top of it again,
Mhm.
All together, a lot of wild shit.
Yeah, the end of that song was kind of too much.
Yes.
Like, you don't think I had to do that? Yeah, it was a little bit too. I was just like, you don't have to repeat this again.
One fewer times, guys.
Yeah.
All right, who's reading these lyrics? I'm not reading them again.
I'll read them.
Okay.
One man's grinning from behind the net, waits till the camera's adjusted. Don't you worry about the flack you'll get. Aren't you scared of getting busted? The ball gets booted, it hits the cross beam, up goes the banner, John 3:16.
Whoa.
Oh, he don't Oh, he don't worry about the critics. They toe the line.
I'll do this.
Okay, he don't worry about the cynics.
They live to whine.
He ain't gonna change the world, but he knows who can.
Everyone.
Bannerman.
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 Primetime football in the Buffalo snow, freezing his little epidermis. Lifts that banner at the first field goal, drinks clam chowder from a thermos. He's never missed a game. He never spells it wrong. He never talks back when they tell him move along.
Whoa.
Oh, he don't worry about the critics.
They'll howl for days.
He don't worry about the cynics.
They'll navel gaze.
He ain't gonna change the world, but he knows who can.
Bannerman.
Sports fans everywhere are dying for a drink, but they've got to find the well first. One man's ready with a banner and a wink. A whole lot of souls are getting well versed. Every time I see him, I smile a little more. I can't help praying for another high score.
Whoa.
Oh, he don't worry about the critics.
They'll howl for days.
He don't worry about the cynics.
They'll navel gaze.
He ain't gonna change the world, but he knows who can. Bannerman.
Bannerman.
Do I need to repeat?
Yes, because they're different.
Oh, God
Yeah,
damn
'cause
it.
they're
He
yeah.
don't worry about the critics.
They've met their match.
No, he don't worry about the cynics.
They'll sniff and scratch.
He ain't gonna change the world, but he knows who can.
Bannerman.
So, Chaz, I feel like it's appropriate to ask you, what is this song about?
Oh, shit. You really want to know what this song's about? All right. I actually wrote some stuff here. So, this song is about Roland Stewart. Do you guys know who he is? Like,
Nope.
I don't know if you guys listened to the episode I did about him.
No, I
but
missed that one.
he is known as Superfan, Rainbow Man, or John 3:16. Steve Taylor gave him the special name Bannerman. If he would have gotten professional help for his issues, he would be the type of person Taylor would have made fun of in the first song.
Oh,
Stewart-
that's sad.
Yeah. Stewart had a fucked up childhood. His father was abusive and then died when he was 7. His mother was a depressive alcoholic and died in a house fire when he was 15. His sister was murdered by her boyfriend that same year. He had a kid right after high school and got abusive, so his wife left him. He started growing pot and drinking. He had a vision of himself being on national TV, so he drove to Portland, Oregon for the 1977 NBA Finals and danced around in a rainbow wig, and he was an instant hit. Things that people did for entertainment, even back in the 70s. He was in a beer commercial and rented himself out for Hollywood parties. He felt empty and wanted to end it all, but after the 1980 Super Bowl, he was saved by watching an end times prophecy show, and he also got really obsessed with the end of the world. And he would start holding a John 3:16 sign and would go to 12 or more televised sporting events each week.
What? Each week?
That's a lot
Each
of
week.
driving.
Wow.
12 to 20, I think it was. So like he would go to, let's say he'd go to Washington and he'd go for the football game that was on Monday night. And then he would go to the Washington Wizards or Bullets game like the next day. And then like the hockey game would be the next day. And then he'd go to the next town. He would go to golf tournaments. He had a handheld TV to help position himself to be seen by the most amount of people during the TV event. TV producers were pissed at him, especially the golf ones. One
Yeah, this is classy.
Yeah. One allegedly drove him out to the end of the course and threatened to kill him. Golf caddies were terrified of this man because he could snap at any time. They said he had a crazy look in his eyes and he would act very unhinged. He would choke out his new wife during the 1986 World Series because she didn't hold the John 3:16 sign right. By the 1980
Wait,
ended
like
late,
at a game
yeah, the World Series, 1986 World Series.
in front of people.
Not on TV, but
But
that's
like but like they were in the stands.
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, real cool guy. By the late 80s, he ran out of money and sanity. He became a low-key domestic terrorist by throwing stink bombs at golf tournaments in the American Music Awards and saying out loud, "God thinks this stinks."
Wait, you said he ran out of money, but where was his money coming from originally?
Yeah, going to all these sporting events.
Well, first off, it was from the beer commercial and renting himself out.
Okay.
But then afterwards, he would raise money by going from, like, he would go to these sporting events and stop by churches. And then they would do, like, this brother in the Lord is going around the country. Let's give him money. And he would raise money that way. A lot of times, most of the sporting tickets were donated by Christian fans that saw him. So a lot of the stuff he wasn't even paying for. He lived in a car the whole time, basically.
Wow.
So, yeah. In
With a wife.
September, with his eventually, he's been married 4 times. So, that's Banner Man. In September 1992, he was convinced the world was going to end and Jesus was going to come back. Roland kidnapped 2 day workers after tricking them into a hotel room, and then a maid, and this was at an LA hotel room down by the airport. The workers escaped, but the maid was held his hostage. He threatened to shoot at airplanes with his guns, but he eventually would smoke a joint right before being arrested. He could have taken a 12-year term plea deal, but he went to trial trying to tell the world the truth. And he would get 3 consecutive life terms and has been denied parole 7 times. And that who is the Banner Man. That's who the song is about, guys.
Banner Man.
Well, you know what they say. Men will, rent themselves out and hold signs up and choke out their wife in front of other people and become domestic terrorists and take hostages, but they won't go to therapy.
No.
Yep.
Hey, it pays off. You get a song written about you.
Forever Lamar.
Christopher Walken played him on SNL during a sketch one time.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, yeah. Did it fill him up inside?
Oh, it's a funny sketch. Like, you should really go see it. Like, he plays a great crazy man. But, like, this guy is
he still alive?
Yes, he's still in jail.
Okay.
Taylor did address, like, some of this stuff and was like, I just hope that he found the Lord in jail and, but nothing really.
I think he found the fucking Lord before he went to fucking jail.
I think that's part of the problem, Steve. He's definitely a man that had a ton of mental health issues and ran with a ton of conspiracy theories and end times prophecies and looked nice on the outside, but was really, really dark and disturbed on the inside.
Definitely an InfoWars listener.
Oh, he probably is. Did you guys remember this guy at all?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
sports as a kid.
Yeah,
yeah. My stepfather loved him. Like,
it sounds like Steve Taylor loved him too.
Yeah,
that guy's
Jay,
crazy. He'll hold up a sign.
I mean, it's different than how I imagined it as a kid. A lot more complicated. Just thought he was a dude who held up a sign at football games, freezing his little epidermis.
You don't really realize the mental state it takes somebody to do that week in and week out. And it's not somebody that's really all there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly. And it just upsets me that, like, he's held up as some sort of hero within this world when he's anything but. Like, even his tactics and everything he did, like, he was pissing people off. He was, like, standing in front of fans. He was
Mm.
ruining people's jobs, like making their life harder, like just to hold up a sign, and
No.
like not to mention swindling people out of money.
No, Chad. I think it says that he never talks back when they tell him move along.
I think the caddies and the PGA Tour would have a lot more to say about that than I ever would. That's the one group of people that spent the most time with him.
Yeah, I can imagine,
more
because
than
those
anybody
are
else.
those are slow and quiet, so you can actually, like, a football game. You know, it's so loud you can't have a conversation with somebody. Like,
Mhm.
it just exists in the same place. You know.
Yeah, so it's yeah, I don't like the song in retrospect, but like when I heard it when I was a kid, I was like, yeah, that's the coolest guy in the world. And I'm just like, no, he's actually pretty fucked up and dangerous.
Chaz, you make everything dark. This is your superhero power.
Yeah, yeah. That's what my wife tells me.
Well,
But like, what did you guys feel about, like, even before knowing any of that stuff? What did you guys feel about the song in general, lyric wise?
I thought it was silly, you know? I remember the guy from being a kid, but I figured he was just someone who's like, I'm a fan, I'm going to be here anyways, might as well do this kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, I didn't think it was so much.
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was fun, catchy. That was about it.
And I only knew him from football, so I didn't know like that he was like in my consciousness. I only heard the song a few days ago, but in my consciousness, I didn't know that he was like across platforms.
Yeah, same.
You know?
I thought he did it like
Yeah.
12 times a year kind of thing. at
Yeah,
each game.
exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, like he definitely burned out his welcome, like after a while. But
Yeah.
like, what it takes to go to, like, I'm a huge sports fan.
Mhm.
I don't know if I could go to 12 sporting events a week.
Well, you don't have time.
Like, that's one thing. But even if I had the time, like if I was a billionaire,
sure.
I don't know if I could mentally,
No, it'd be-
like that would drain my battery. Like, so like the second one, I'd be like, oh my God, I can't do this for another week.
I mean, me as an introvert who like doesn't like loud noises, I would, yeah, no way. Like that's, like, I would be fried for a few years after like 3 days into this, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand the type, like, and that's the thing that the Christian world wouldn't look at as, like, what's up with this dude? Like, other than he's spreading the gospel for the Lord. And it's like, no, he's actually being like a domestic terrorist and annoying a bunch of people for the Lord, though. So I guess it's okay.
Christian evangelicalism, ignoring the
Yeah.
follow-up question for decade upon decade.
Mm. So, yeah. I don't know. That's the banner, man.
All right, who wants to take this one? Smudge.
This is probably my favorite song on the album.
This is a good song. Yeah, Smug.
Smudge, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Or Smudge.
It's a reference to The Office.
Yeah, yeah. There you go with your smudginess.
The Office is not that funny to me, but I don't know why that does crack me up. Sorry. All right. Someone talk about this song.
Well, it starts with drums this time. It's not guitar at first. It's got a little drum beat going on. We got some guitars coming in with effects. And you'll hear Steve when he sings his vocal style's a little different on this one. I don't know, maybe more nasal, a little bit, just different style.
Yeah. Borderline Aussie, you might say.
Strike this little pose, chin up in the air, lips together tightly, nostrils in a flare. Now look like you care.
everything sounds stuck up in this song, and I love it.
Yeah.
Like his vocal delivery to the music, and it's just, I think it's all a great mix of smudgeness and
It
just
is.
of like, yeah, I can just see him walking around kind of like the guy from the Rolling Stones, and just like,
Yes. When I was a teenager, I don't know why, but like we had this magnet on the refrigerator that had like a bunch of faces on it, and I was like, how do you feel today? And you could like move a frame over like the how you feel today, and one of them was smug, and I was like, I always moved it to smug. Yeah, I don't know.
I love that about you.
Thank you. And I'm a fan of it. Like I think I've described, like, I like Rancid because of their smudgeness,
Mm-hmm.
Like they always just feel like they're just like leaning back a little bit and being like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're the coolest punk rockers ever.
Yep.
Yeah. We know it. I think he does a really good job of taking, and when we get into the lyrics, taking the message of the lyrics and making that in a vocal delivery that goes so well with the music, that is goes really well hand in hand with each other, of really conveying what he's trying to preach here.
Practice in the mirror, brushing back a tear, very sincere. A promising career could begin right here at home. You got that smile, hey mama, look at what your little baby's already come. Hey mama, gonna never make it this a minute. Baby, figure what we mean, mama, pick a listen in up. Love is great, we're here turning slow.
I like to picture a 13-year-old Jay. Like, hey mama, look a little bit of me all I've become.
Just mush mouthing it.
I don't want to admit that that's catchy, but it is catchy.
I know.
Oh,
Hey
it is.
mama, hey mama. Yeah, like
I don't like it. Like the song is annoying, but it's also really good.
yeah, it's a good song. This has definitely been the one of all of them that's been stuck in my head the most over
Yeah.
the past week. Yeah.
But this, especially the chorus here, if you just say that in an Aussie accent, it's just the Newsboys.
They wouldn't dare to do this, though.
It's
No,
true. This
well,
is too
none
edgy
of-
for them.
No vocalist for the Newsboys could talk that
Oh,
fast. They're all
no.
Australian and have been drunk too much in their life to have that much control over their vocal cords and lips and whatnot. It's catchy. It's infectious, I might say.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's appropriate because like I don't want to like it. I hear it and I'm like, gross. But also, yeah, that's great. All right. There's another verse and chorus that kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
Should we just fast forward through that and move on to like verse 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No bridge.
Yeah, I called that part build up.
Yeah. It's like,
But yeah, once again, same thing.
it was seriously the same thing from the other two songs. It's just there's nothing really going on, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden you go back into it.
But there's also like in the last one there was that jet engine sound, right? And this one there's like like it's just like he knows he needs to build anticipation, but he may not know how, and so and look, I love a guy who can't write a song, but this is kind of funny.
He's with bridges like Stephen King is with endings to his books. It's just not.
It just
doesn't-
wings
not
it
the
completely.
best. Yeah.
We'll figure
You
it out when
got
we
it
get
done,
there.
but yeah, you finished the project, but could have used another draft.
Yeah.
All you smug-starved millions in the thick of the search, welcome to our church. What you wanna solve, we can help
I think they did a really good job there of like keeping that verse a little weird, you know, with the music. He's kind of broken down what was happening in the other two verses and layered them, but also really good stereo effect. I don't know if you noticed, where he's put part of it in one and part in the other. And so it feels broken. It feels like it's not all together yet, which makes the anticipation of the chorus again better. But it also makes you do this like wiggle thing with your body. You know, you're like, yeah, let's get into this. Let's get into
Hey,
this. Yeah, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama.
Hey mama, look at what your little baby's all out of come. Hey mama, don't it ever make you wish you did it. Read and figure what we mean on a pickle, listen in our blood. Hey mama, look at what your little baby's all out of come. Hey mama, don't it ever make you wish you did it. Read and figure what we mean on a pickle, listen in our blood.
We haven't mentioned the falsetto yet.
True.
No, we have not.
It works. I don't know how else you end the hey mama, hey mama, hey mama part, you know, but like it works, I guess. Like, I don't know. Thoughts?
This is that weird song where like most of these things you don't want to work
Yes.
like separate, but altogether it just kind of does.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like way too much tambourine in the song, but it works.
But also
Yep.
just enough tambourine. So we have do you know what this next section is, Chaz? Do you know where this? Okay, let's listen to it first, and then we'll talk about it.
I wanna talk to them about smug people. They think they're so good. They ain't good. No, they ain't good. And I wanna tell you why. You wanna be a good man, you look at me. I'm gonna talk to you about humility, 'cause I got it. I wanna talk to you about righteousness, 'cause I got it. I'm good. I'm humble. I'm better than you. You wanna be a humble man, you look at me. You say, brother, how can I be humble? I don't know how you can be humble. It took me a long
When I was young and my body wasn't melting off my bones, I had a friend walk up to me one time and be like, "You just always look like you know something no one else knows." And I thought to myself, yeah, nailed it.
It gave you this like superiority of like I love it.
Yes. Should we listen to just that talking part before we talk about it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
I want to talk to them about smug people. They think they're so good. They ain't good. No, they ain't good. And I want to tell you why. You want to be a good man, you look at me. I'm going to talk to you about humility, because I got it. I want to talk to you about righteousness, because I got it. I'm good. I'm humble. I'm better than you. You want to be a humble man, you will look at me. You say, brother, how can I be humble? I don't know how you can be humble. It took me a long time.
That's got to be tongue in cheek, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of it, well, we're gonna read the lyrics, so we'll get into that part. But
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, we'll talk about that then. Okay. Chaz, it is your turn to be subjected to lyric reading.
Oh God! All right. Here we go. Verse 1. I hope I do this right. Strike this little pose, chin up in the air, lips together tightly, nostrils in a flare. Now look like you care. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. Practice in a mirror, brushing back a tear, very sincere. A promising career could begin right here at home if you've got that smug. Hey mama, hey mama. Look at what your little babies all have become. Hey mama, hey mama. Don't it ever make you wish you'd been a nun? Vain and fickle, were you weaned on a pickle? Is it in our blood? Rome is burning. We're returning smug. Verse 3. Strike another pose, power politics. Swallow their conventions. Get your power fix. We love to mud wrestle. We love to be politically correct. Ooh.
Mm.
Didn't notice that before. Okay.
Yeah. Practice that smug. Post it like a man. 1 part Master Limbaugh, 2 parts Madam Streisand. Now pretend you're in a band. My, we're looking very smug. Very, 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 very. And then we have the chorus. Do you want me to read that again?
Nah.
Okay. And then we go verse 5. All you smug-starved millions in the thick of the search, welcome to our church. What you want to solve, we can help you evolve from merely self-righteous to perfectly smug. Strike the proud pose of our country club brethren, friendly as a broom, fragrant as the bottom of a locker room broom. Now, what's the matter? Hey, get off your knees. That part don't come till later. God will not be pleased. And then we have the final part where he does say, Roma's cooking, we're here turning. And he says, Roma's cooking, we're here looking. So a little change at the end of the one chorus. And then we have the outro by Phil Madiria? I don't know. This is what he says. He says, I want to talk to you about smug people. They think they're so good. They ain't good. No, they ain't good at all. I'll tell you what. You want to be a good man, you look at me. I'm going to talk to you about humility because I got it. I want to talk to you about righteousness because I got it. I'm good. I'm humble. I'm better than you. You want to be a humble man? You look at me and say, brother, how can you be humble? I don't know how you can be humble. It took me a long time to get this way, but thank God I've arrived. Let's pray.
That part, to me, it's funny because that reminds me of so much Christian music, like Plank Eye and like, I don't know, Pocket Change comes to mind immediately, where it's all this like, if you want to be a better Christian, let me tell you how to do it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of you people are as good a Christian as me.
This song I had pointed at some very specific people in my church.
Mm.
And that I was just like, this is 100% you. Like,
Yeah.
this is you to a T from how you're going to police everything in this church. And it's crazy. But
see, that kind of smudginess is not fun. I like playful smudginess. It's
yeah.
Jay, tell us what it's about.
Being smug.
Oh shit. Oh, short.
I mean, I think these lyrics though are ones that I could pretty much agree with the whole way through. Like this one,
I'm waiting for Chaz to tell us why this is dark. Like,
oh no, I don't. Well, I mean,
I'm like, yeah, go ahead and ruin it for us, Chaz. All right.
I mean, it is dark. It's definitely speaking to a lot of what's going on today. In the evangelical church. This song's about televangelism. It's about Christian political leaders. They even talk about being politically correct, which is I think is a great lyric.
Is that a play on politically correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which, remember, politically correct is the original woke.
Yes.
I assume.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a term before that. I don't know.
I think they all just kind of got mushed together to be woke, but yeah. I think this is definitely and it's also talking about mega churches when it talks about country club brethren. And, I think I think the song's a little bit deeper than I took it when I was a kid. But I think it's speaking to a lot of what was going on even back then, but especially now of the people in the church that are more performative than anything when it comes to Christianity.
Well said. More performative. Yes. That, it doesn't sum up like all of my problems with American American evangelicalism, but it like, there is a lot, like my pastor when I was growing up, at least in like junior high and high school, was the original guy who like stole library books from a library about like, Heather has two mommies or whatever, and refused to give them back. And that's just poor performative bullshit, you know? Like there's no
Yeah.
yeah, there's no stance there. It's just I'm going to do this to hurt you, you know? And now we've got the Trump administration waiting until Pride Month to be like, hey, we're renaming the Harvey Milk or whatever.
Yeah. Fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I mean, he's also speaking to the politically involved within the Christian right when he calls out Rush Limbaugh and like how people take him on as a persona within the Christian world, which was, you know, nobody was talking about that shit. Nobody.
No, he was a hero. I mean,
Oh yeah.
The people who took on who adopted that persona as their own were the good ones. Like they were, I mean,
Yeah.
at least in my
smudge ones.
church. Yeah, exactly. At least in my church, they were the ones who everyone's like, yeah, gotta be more like that guy, you know? Yeah.
And he also, you know, he talks about the destruction of what's going on. You know, either the church is burning down around us and we're still looking like we're better than everyone else, or the country. I don't know what he's referring to as Rome, but, you know, he's definitely right on that part. They'd rather dance than actually do anything about it. So, like Nero.
Yeah. That all said, I think there's some really good, like, just lyric writing in here. You know, as you said, the opening, strike this little pose, chin up in the air, lips together tightly, nostrils in a flare. Look like you care. Very nice. Is
very nice.
it's good. But also just the chorus, it's hard to write lyrics that have a kind of rhythm to them, you know? But that hey mama, look at what your little babies have all become. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And I don't know, it's just there is some masterful art of lyric writing in here as well.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite lines is, all you smug, starved millions.
I love that. Yeah. I do like that he advocates abortion when he, you know, wishes for, like, would you rather have been a nun? Like, would you rather go back and just not have this baby?
Don't think that's where his mind was, but okay, I like it.
But yeah, like even like the weaned on a pickle, it's just like, okay, like that's different from what you would hear in a Christian song. So I guess
I thought that was the weakest line actually in the entire song, but not because it's off, but because I just feel like it came out of nowhere where all the other lines kind of lined up with each other in some way. I don't know. Maybe I can't explain.
I think it's just like sucking on vinegar and having that perched the parched lip or the perched lips kind of thing. Like
I like that.
Yeah, kind of look to it. So I always love this song. This was one of my favorite songs, like just lyrically, especially when I was younger and still today. So
I will say I think there's one part of this song, one line of the song that at least would have hit me. And when I was in high school, hey, get off your knees. That part don't come till later. God will not be pleased.
Yeah, I was listening to that now. I was like, okay.
Yeah. That, like, I can definitely remember being in youth group and being like, look at these guys. They've never been to church before. They don't know how to do this. You know? Yeah. All right. We're all looking smug. We're skipping a few songs now, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot we could have covered, and there's quite a few that I like. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you this next one is one that I usually skipped back in the day.
Because it was called Easy Listening and you thought it was going to be Kenny G?
Well, it's more just the sound of it. But as I re-listen to it now, it's like, oh, we can't not talk about this.
It's true.
No. I was going through the songs. I'm like, man, what songs do you guys want to cover? And I was like, after like reading, like going through the lyrics and everything, I'm like, yeah, we can't really skip this one. Even though it definitely was one that I was like, yeah, I don't really like this. Like when I was younger, I'd rather listen to that bass line on Curses or skip the Cash Cow.
The more I listened to this one, the more I liked it.
I know. I kind of
like it. It's really offensive, but works.
And
also.
lyrically, it had a couple lines I really like too, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Mm-hmm.
Should we just play a bit so the listener can understand why I knew we had to do this one?
All right, get ready, man.
I read.
That old time, that old time. Gotta make grandchildren if you love a good mystery. Gotta make grandchildren for a little church history. It's 2044, you're avoiding our turn of the century ways. How do we stagger rich, kissing up to the powerful? How do we make a pit satellites by the tower for? Why do you young people have to go and get caught up in a radical phase? The conscience was clear and it was.
So if you're
Michael
listening
Scott
now,
just-
you get it.
Michael Scott just came back from the Caribbean and he has that one
Yeah.
braid in his hair.
That's
One braid,
exactly
yeah.
what it's like. Yeah. and so that's the thing, like cultural appropriation.
A lot of
much?
cultural appropriation. Okay, like I listened to the Israelites in high school, loved them.
Mm-hmm.
And they do, their ska kind of reggae thing. You know what they never fucking did? Imitate a fucking black accent. From,
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the difference, right? It's
That's
not
where
really
I
the
drew the line.
music style. It's like the vocal styles where you're just like,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, let's not do that. Like if you were gonna have like a song that sounds like it's from Japan, are you gonna start doing like an Asian accent too? Like, I mean,
right.
let's just
Well,
not.
you know what?
Like, what the fuck?
That
Yeah.
did
Oh
happen.
yeah. Oh god.
I'm not even
Yeah.
with the Christian market.
The music, I think it's supposed to be bad. Like, I think it's supposed to be a bad reggae song. So
Yes.
that's like I think it's like a tongue in cheek kind of thing like that. But like, yeah, the way he's approaching the vocals is no.
Yeah. I mean, my reaction to this song was, oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Sting did it.
Did he do the accent?
Yeah, in like the early 80s, he would like, I
Oh.
forget what song it was, but like it's in there where you're just like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that. And you have David Bowie doing in that China Girl video where he made his eyes all squinty, and it's just like, you fucking loser. What are you, 10?
We've come so far.
Yes, we have.
I'm gonna keep playing here because it's a bop.
yeah, we got to get to the chorus.
The conscience was clear and the wallet was full. But didn't hear none of this sacrifice bull. Transplants call for a backtrack. Give me that old time easy listen. Get it? That old time, old time. Get it? That old time. Call me old-fashioned, but
I think the worst part of the song is that first half of the chorus. That
With
isn't
the breakdown part?
like this part right here. It feels out of place.
It does kind of feel like it's like pasted in or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
like that part though.
I do kind of like
That's
it
like-
too.
It's just like, yeah, like that's where I'm like, okay,
Really?
like, so you're just fucking around at that first part. Because like, you guys can actually play music like this, that part there, and then
Yeah.
you go right back into the silliness.
Well, I
And
think
it's just
I think of this as the breakdown.
Yeah. Oh, this part.
Yeah. Also, I have a question. Is
Steve Taylor is not black.
no, yeah. Is it offensive because they're making monkey noises while they're pretending to be black?
That's what I like. That's what he's going like. I'm just like, oh god.
I'm not even gonna touch that one.
I
I
couldn't.
didn't come here for this.
All right, we'll leave it. I'm just gonna put it out into the world. We report, you decide. All right.
Do you have a thing in there where you can isolate monkey vocals or what?
Nope. Not just the monkey part.
I mean, should we just isolate those vocals and just play those? Because that might be
We can.
entertaining. I don't know.
Get it? Now, old time, easy. Get it? That old time, easy.
Oh boy!
Make it stop.
Remember, this guy's from Denver.
Yes, yeah.
I like the next verse. It starts off with "color me old fashioned," then it goes to "color me chicken yellow." I mean, that's fucking good lyric writing right there.
Time, easy. Color me old fashioned, but I still remember when the sermons were a ferment, cause the Lord liked us better than it's 2044, and I don't wanna be my brother's keeper no more. Color me chicken yellow if I like it in the ozone. Color me lemon jello if I like a little backbone. We're king's kids dangin', and we used to know what a housekeeper was for. Tickle my ear and I'll pay to your show. Sing about stuff that I already know. Whisper sweet nothings for a nightcap. Give me that old time easy listening. Give me that.
Now we've got that. What's that instrument that you hit? And it's like. I forget the name of it.
All right, wait. Play a little more because I'm pretty sure he probably regrets doing these vocals as well.
Nothing before. Also,
Well-
he rolled when he did the "color me old fashioned," though he rolled that. Like he practiced the fuck out of this, you guys.
Give me that. Give me that old time easy
I think we can remix this into like we could take this to a club.
Oh my
If-
God.
You know,
We should do a remix of this.
add a little more bass to it, you know, and just repeat that part over and over again for like 5
Gold.
minutes. Yeah. Like,
But I mean, Clifton, I saw you bopping. I mean, it is kind of a bop, right? Like,
because it's regrettably good.
Got a good beat. It's
And like, as a white guy,
right?
there's a lot of reggae I don't like because I don't connect with it. But
You can connect with this.
this white guy,
Denver reggae really hits you in your soul.
this white guy has reinterpreted reggae in a way that speaks to my soul.
Clifton's out there mowing his grass, just like I feel you, brother.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh fuck!
I mean, I don't know if you need to play much more, but that's it.
We're gonna play the end of it.
Okay.
I'm okay, you're okay, we're okay, so think I'm gonna buy my own radio show. Spread the good news and the baby night low. Happy talk, no rock, non-stop, easy
Like, I think Robin Thicke would wish he had wrote this song.
Yeah, I mean,
In the hands of the right person, it could have been a hit.
Yeah, true. All right.
Sublime could have done it.
oh my God.
Oof. Okay. It's my turn to
Oh, I can't wait to hear Clifton read
read
these.
this. I'm going to read it in the straightest face available to me. Gather me, grandchildren, if you love a good mystery. Gather me, grandchildren, for a little church history. It's 2044. You're avoiding our turn of the century ways. How did we strike it rich? Kissing up to the powerful. How did we make our pitch? Satellites by the towerful. Why did you young people have to go and get caught up in a radical phase? My conscience was clear and my wallet was full. I didn't hear none of this sacrifice bull. Tough times call for a backtrack. Give me that old time easy listening. Cuddle up, yeah. 12 hours twice a day. Cuddle up, yeah. Simmer down, Attaway.
At the way.
Color me old-fashioned, but I still remember when the sermons were affirming, 'cause the Lord liked us better then. It's 2044, and I don't want to be my brother's keeper anymore. No more. Color me chicken yellow if I liked it in the ozone. Color me lemon jello if I lacked a little backbone. We're the king's kids, dang it, and we used to know what a housekeeper was for. I don't know what that is. Tickle me.
A housekeeper?
No, I don't know what a house. I don't know what they thought a housekeeper. Okay. Tickle my ear and I'll pay for your show. Sing about stuff that I already know. Whisper sweet nothings. Pour a nightcap. Give me that old time easy listening. Cuddle up. Yeah. 12 hours twice a day. Cuddle up. Yeah. Simmer down. Attaway. Cuddle up. Yeah. Order now. Don't delay. Cuddle up. Yeah. Sleep it off. Drool away. Gather me round, children, 'cause your faith is a mystery. Gather me, grandchildren, for a little church history. It's 2044, and I miss our turn of the century ways. How do we strike it rich? Kissing up to the powerful. How do we make a pitch? Satellites by the towerful. Why do you young hotheads have to go and get caught up in a radical phase? I'm okay. You're okay. We're okay, so I think I'm going to buy my own radio show. Spread the good news and the Barry Manilow. Happy talk, no rock, nonstop, easy listening. Why did he choose a reggae song for easy listening?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't. That's the one thing I don't really understand. Although I do fucking kind of like these lyrics.
They're
Yeah, I mean, so I kind of, first of all, the idea of it being in the future and singing back is, it's not common. Like, it's a different type of thing. And then I really...
Well, Jay, there is that one song, remember, that we did by the guy who was like his son. He was going to get killed because it was the future and Christianity was illegal. And he was like telling his son about it. You know, because if the state is going to kill you for being a Christian, they're definitely going to let you tell your kid about your religion before they go take you and kill you. Sorry. Okay.
No, but I really, really, really like where he says, how do we strike it rich, kissing up to the powerful? Oh my God, that is totally right now. Like, he's nailed what Christianity has been for the last, I don't know how many years, but that is
this very prophetic song.
Yes.
And so, like, this is like a futuristic song talking to the younger people in 2044 because they've decided that they need some sort of type of religious reformation, I guess.
Yeah.
And they're trying to change things, and this person's like, no, let's go back to when everything was great and we were rich and we had all the power and all the money.
Everyone told me how great I was.
Yep. Yeah, I
Yeah.
really like that part about color me old fashioned, but I still remember when the sermons were affirming because the Lord liked us better then, which is all charismatic Christianity.
Yeah. It's also Ronald Reagan, right?
Yeah.
Like, Carter's like, guys, we need to have a tough conversation. And Reagan's like, fuck that guy, we're going to party!
Yeah.
Anyways. My conscience was clear and my wallet was full. I didn't hear none of this sacrifice bull. Tough times call for a backtrack. That's great.
Yep.
Oh, I messed up. People are against me? All right, I take it back. Didn't mean any of it. It was a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The song lyrically is pretty good. It's just like the
Racist.
presentation. Pretty bad.
Great taste, bad execution kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't understand the cuddle up, 12 hours twice a day, cuddle up, simmer down, add away. You know what that is?
I think that's referring to like dedicating all your time to the church in a way that a lot of like the mega churches do now, of like you're kind of dedicating all your time to this. But that's just my own interpretation of it. I don't really know, but that's the only
And
thing.
like maybe like just sitting in the pew and getting preached, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but like also just, I mean, Jay, you were part of the Kansas City, like where you were doing your own prayer thing and the prayer house thing. I don't know. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but when you came on and told us about the Kansas City Prophets and we talked about that and how you left there and like you wanted to start your own overnight prayer thing or whatever. And it was like, well, that's like, they want you to do that. Like they want you fully engulfed in that. So you can't do anything else.
Right.
So,
Right.
Well, that was fun, you guys.
I
Let's
guess.
go on. I mean, I danced to it. Let's go on to another bop here. The last song on the album, Cash Cow.
And we don't have to say it now, but I am curious Clifton's take on this one, because this is
Musically, or
just in general what you've thought of this song.
it's confusing.
Moving closer, moving closer to the middle of the fray.
This is some art house bullshit. What are we listening to?
This is a rock opera in 3 acts, Clifton.
It's alternative rock.
Did they moo at me at the beginning? Like, if I go back to the beginning here, did they moo at me?
Move.
I guess they say move.
Yeah, moving closer.
They should have gone with moo. They should have started with moo.
Move.
Because it is Cash Cow, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
They should have played that up more. Okay. Sorry. All right. Let's get into this rock opera.
It was a morning just like any other morning in the Sinai Desert, 1200 BC. It glistened, it glowed, it rose from the gold of the children of Israel and most of the adults. The cash cow. The golden cash cow.
It's slow so far, y'all. It is plodding in pace. How did you put up with this as a kid, Jay?
I mean, it's kind of weird though. It's building
is
towards
weird.
something. As long as I know it's going to be a payoff, it's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
I love how dark it was.
Yeah.
It is dark. That the slowness and the darkness as a kid, I probably would have skipped this song already.
Would it upset you, scared you too much?
No, just not my thing. Yeah.
The golden cash cow had a body like the great cows of ancient Egypt, and a face like the face of Robert Tilton without the horns. And through the centuries it has roamed the earth like a ravenous bovine, seeking whom it may lick. Cash cow, cash cow. From the valley of the shadow of the outlet mall.
I do appreciate the seeking whom it may lick.
Nice build up there.
Yeah. Good payoff.
Cash cow, cash cow. From the valley of the shadow of the outlet mall to the customized petwear boutique. From the trailer of the fry chef to the palace of the chic, the cash cow lurks. The cash cow lurks. The cash cow lurks.
All right. So I think we're about to get into the what you might call a chorus.
Yeah, I guess that's
Yeah,
what it
I
would
think
be
it's the
called.
chorus.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's very different that, ooh, like, it's just,
Yeah.
it completely different vibe. I'm into it. Listen to in the chorus right now, you're going to hear some background stuff going on
Background stuff. You heard it here first.
Woe to you, proud mortal, secure in your modest digs. You think you're immune? You who couldn't think of said cow in a police lineup with the three little pigs?
Now this has like Carmen meets Rush vibes.
It does have a little Carmen vibes. I even put that in my notes. The kind of the spoken word. Yeah.
But also Rush. I want to be clear about the Rush thing.
In a police lineup with the three little pigs? Now, master of disguises. Who's gonna change shape at will? Who's the eye in the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill? Who loves power luncheon from Spargo to the Sizzler? Guess who's coming to dinner?
I think that's good. Like, I'm glad we built up to that as the chorus, right? The who loves you, baby? Who'll give you good credit? Who says you'll regret it? Da, 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 da. That works.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it works. I guess it does feel like a musical almost, right?
Yeah, but I wish you kind of would have done a whole album of it instead of this one song.
I've got news for you. The Kinks do exist in the 80s also, and they're doing this kind of shit.
First one's free. Cash cow coming to get ya. Why? Cause you think this is stupid, don't you? The cash cow will not be bought. The cash cow's planning a coup. The cash cow chews cotton bigger than you.
Blow off this warning.
Perhaps you've already been licked. I too was hypnotized by those big cow eyes. The last time I had those three little words, I deserve better.
And now there's like a minute of silence. Well, not a minute. There's 30 seconds of silence.
Yeah. You hear a little feedback in the background. Yeah, a little bit.
Who turned the album off at this point when they were a kid? Like, did you think it was over? You're like, all right, the album's over and go shit now. You know, like, and you're like, then you all of a sudden hear something coming from your ear. Like, is the album still going?
The only reason I didn't is because I had watched the music video before hearing the song on the album. So I knew there was an extra part to it. because of the end of the music video was so fucking rad.
We got to talk about this music video then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the 30 seconds of silence, we get Act 3. And it does this. And now I'm like somewhere between Boston and Rush. Like, it's a complete change. What's going on here?
I don't know. I really like that bass, though.
It's good.
I don't know if they really need this part, though. We could have just ended.
When I was listening to the song the first time, it was a big shift. I didn't understand this part. I like it more now, now that I've heard the song a few times. And I know that what's about to come, there's this like melodic cello that's about to come in here that works really well, I think.
But I'm also like, where was this the whole rest of the album?
Yeah.
This kind of create like the ability to write more than one part of a song. Like you can write different parts of a song. Like put a fucking bridge in a song.
Yeah, like it sucks that like the best musical part of the entire album is this last like 30 seconds. You just saved it for the end.
Maybe he originally had this album, and maybe this is from a lost project of his, and like he took it to the studio, and they were like, "Get lost, we're not publishing this shit."
Got to hear that tambourine one last time.
But it almost gets into like some post-rock stuff there, And
Oh yeah,
I kind of like it, I don't know if I want to hear a whole album of that. I don't. But for one song, I enjoyed it.
it feels like they were like, "Hey guys, you guys really didn't do a lot on this album. Like you didn't really let your wings fly."
Yeah.
There weren't enough genres on the album. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that last part, even though it is kind of disconnected. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think musically, it's one of the better things on this entire album.
Yeah. Go ahead and read those lyrics.
Act 1. Move in closer. Move in closer to the middle of the frame. Act 2. It was a morning just like any other morning in the Sinai Desert, 1200 BC. It glistened, it glowed, it rose from the gold of the children of Israel and most of the adults. The cash cow.
Cash cow.
The golden cash cow had a body like the great cows of ancient Egypt and a face like the face of Robert Tilton without the horns. And through the century, it has roamed the earth like a ravenous bovine, seeking whom it may lick.
Lick.
Cash cow. Cash cow. From the valley of the shadow of the outlet mall, like that line,
yes,
to the customized petware boutique, from the trailer of the fry chef to the palace of the chic, the cash cow lurks.
Lurks.
The cash cow lurks. The cash cow lurks. Who loves you, baby? Who gives you good credit? Who says you'll regret it? Who loves you, baby? Who gives you good credit? Who says you'll regret it? I was young and I needed the money. I had money and I needed more money. I was filthy rich. All I wanted was love.
And a little more money.
Woe to you, proud mortal, secure in your modest digs. You think you're immune? You who couldn't finger said cow in a police lineup with the 3 little pigs?
Would they let you finger a cow in a police lineup?
I
like
know.
that line
I've seen
about
them.
Three Little Pigs,
I gotta watch some videos to figure that one out.
Cash Cow, master of disguises. Who's going to change shape at will? Who's the eye in the pyramid on the back of the dollar bill? Who loves power lunching from Spago to the Sizzler? Guess who's coming to dinner? Who loves you, baby? Who'll give you good credit? Who says you'll regret it? One yank on that udder will land your butter in a sling. First one's free. Cow junkies take heed. Cash Cow coming to get you. Why? Because you think this is stupid, don't you? The Cash Cow will not be mocked. The Cash Cow's planning a coup. The Cash Cow chews cud bigger than you. Woe, woe, woe to you who blow off this warning. Perhaps you've already been licked. I too was hypnotized by those big cow eyes the last time I uttered those three little words. I deserve better. Intermission in Act 3. Anyway.
There's some good stuff in here. I do appreciate the overall worship of money type thing going on here, you know. His reference to Robert Tilton, I had to look him up. He was one of those kind of original 80s call now to make your vow to our ministry, like one simple call and we'll take $30 out of your bank account every month, easy peasy, you know.
Yeah, he got in trouble for the letters that he was getting in. He was basically opening them, taking out the money, and throwing the letters in the trash.
Wow!
And they found a bunch of and then he would apparently go outside and just pray over the dumpster, and that would be his.
It's pretty good, right? Just
look,
the money in there.
This is a business, and we have to be efficient. If we can, look, God knows what's in there.
That's true. God
Nothing
does.
wrong with this.
That's a good point, Clifton. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he made millions and millions of dollars just doing that, and it's just amazing the amount of money people would throw at televangelists.
Oh shit, he's still alive. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Jay, did I send you the article on him? Did I send anyone the article on him?
No.
Wait, isn't that the farting preacher?
No. He owns a hotel now, though.
Wait, I think he might be the farting preacher, Chad. I mean, he wasn't
He's the
farting,
guy
but the one where they put it in the
Yeah, where they did the farts over it, like where he did the face.
The
farting over. I think that might be the guy.
He is very emaciated today in the most recent picture I saw of him.
Oh yeah, he looks like trash.
Yeah,
man, he just needs to die already.
Yeah. Anyways, I appreciate the chorus. Who loves you, baby? Who gives you good credit? Who says you'll regret it? That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Once again, good money worship. I think my favorite part of the song is I was young and I needed more money. I had money and I needed more money. I was filthy rich and all I wanted was love and a little more money.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, some of this album is very, some of the stuff going on back then is happening today, but today it's like on crack, or I don't even want to say on crack, but like on steroids, like now today on all this stuff. And it's just like, wow, people really didn't listen to this, did they?
What's hilarious about that to me is like the people who are old today are the same people who I'm pretty sure watched their parents get swindled by this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, you know what? That sounds like a pretty good offer.
Yeah.
Like, how did they not learn? And they're just doing the same thing, except for they're a little bit more suave about it today. You know, they're a little bit better at it, a little bit better at not saying the wrong things.
Asking on TV, it's like in your email or something.
Yeah. Like I don't even want to say Trump, but like you could even say Alex Jones, like with selling supplements, and like it's just like how many billions of dollars are you guys sending to people?
But also just like fucking Jim Baker is back, and all he learned was to not say certain words that'll get him in trouble. He's like, okay, well, if I don't say these phrases, I won't get sued this time.
Yep.
You know?
And this is the type of country that just kind of rewards that or just turns a blind eye.
Yeah.
We eventually need to get serious about it, guys. Come on.
All that said, all of you do deserve better. You know?
Yeah, that's that might be the one part I didn't like about this song where he said because I think coming from a Christian world in a like that kind of mindset, you're not taught to believe that you deserve better than what the Lord is going to give you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because that's where this gets insidious. That gets into the like, oh, your place is to shut up and pay us tithes.
Mhm.
Once again, this is competition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
I just don't like the fact that like it's wrong for you to say that you deserve better. No,
Right.
like there's instances in life where like you need to be able to stand up for yourself and be able to say that I actually deserve this and I'm proud of the work I've done and I deserve this recognition for this. But not in this type of world.
Right. You did the hard work and like left your abusive husband and got your kids out of there. You did deserve better.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mhm.
Like, because the church so much says, no, God put you in this situation. Your job is to live through it or
Right.
die in it.
Mm-hmm. I think one of the hardest questions I ever got in therapy was, what do you want, but also what do you think you deserve? And I didn't have an answer for either of those.
No.
And she was just like, okay, we'll come back next week and let's talk about that. And like, even with the deserve thing, I was just like, I deserve like the worst things you can give me, and she's like, no. It's just like, no, you deserve to be loved and you deserve this and you deserve this. And like, you're a human being. And it's like, but I don't think of it that way because I wasn't raised like that.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think that's one of the only problematic parts of this song, but the rest of it, I'm like, yeah, like you guys really didn't listen to Jesus. He said more about people being rich than just about anything else in his messages.
But we conveniently ignore those parts. Hey, there's a camel on the cover of this album talking about that. Why is there a camel on the cover of this album?
Well, I'll tell you, Clifton, because I was wondering where we're going to get to this. Basically, when they got the budget for this, because it was on Warner, so he had some money in
the same label that Disciples' My Daddy Can Whip Your Daddy came out on.
Oh, shit.
Really? Okay.
Well, Steve somehow got a budget for like videos and I guess also just the artwork. And so he and 3 other people bought round the world plane tickets and traveled for I don't know how long with some video cameras and obviously still cameras too, and just like shot all the videos and everything for this album through that. So that's why all these photos are like,
it's like, none of the budget went into making the music.
So like, it was already finished evidently. Like he had all that done and then, he had extra budget for this. So they shot all the videos kind of around the world. If you watch that, what is it?
I forget the name of it.
Yeah. The video from this, I think it's movies from the soundtrack or something.
Yeah. Movies from Squint or something like that.
Yeah. It's got, multiple videos for this, but all shot like abroad, and you can tell.
Except for Cash Cow.
Right, because that's like claymation kind of stop motion.
Yeah. Yeah, so he like went to Turkey, Vietnam, Ireland, the UK, and I'm trying to remember where else. There were a couple other places that they went, but like they literally went kind of all over the world to do this. So it's just like, oh, okay, cool.
What I'm hearing here is they got the budget for this album. It was kind of stupid, and they looked at each other and were like, YOLO.
Yep, basically. I think they did. He kind of admitted it. Yeah, he was kind of like, oh, they gave us money to shoot videos?
Like the one they did in Bangkok, I think he said there was like a house band there.
Yeah.
I think it might be for Bannerman, and they just had
Bannerman.
them. Yeah, they had them play, and he just pretended to sing up in front of everybody, and but it's the dumbest. They're dumb videos. I mean, it's just him doing stupid moves, and they film the area, and that's pretty much about it. So
I mean, the Bannerman one is kind of funny though, because it's like some Thai lounge band, and he's just singing on the little microphone up front with them.
You want to talk about the cash cow one?
Yeah, tell us about the cash cow one.
So that was actually done by a student that was doing his thesis in film. So he sent some stuff to Steve before he did the video, just some work that he did, and Steve sent him a demo of Cash Cow, and he did the video basically for free for his senior thesis. So
more Carmen connections here.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how they got the video for Cash Cow, and it is all claymation, and I think it's brilliant. It's definitely stolen from Tool's videos where they do the claymation shit, but it's like a Christian kind of version of that. But it's unlike anything that you would pretty much see in the Christian world. But so is Shine when that came out. That video was fucking wild. But this is for a completely different reason. So I could watch that video all day. I just find something different in it each time where I'm just like, oh man. But just dedication to do that, I guess, for your favorite singer, I guess is kind of cool, I guess. But I'm sure he got something out of it. I can't imagine that Steve didn't get him something.
I'd hope so. Yeah, yeah. What do y'all think of the album cover? Did you buy this because of the album cover, or did you already know that you wanted to buy it?
I mean, for 13-year-old Jay, it helped. I thought it was kind of cool. He's on a camel. It's got weird font. This is definitely alternative rock, Clifton.
Is it weird to you that some of the artwork in here kind of looks like a swastika, but that's just me?
Oh, I could see it because of the
because the four things. There's a lot of there's a lot of almost swastikas in here.
Because every page is the same photo, but 4 times,
and rotated 90 degrees.
Rotated,
each time.
4 times.
So I saw that and I was like, oh man, I should stop looking at stuff like this because I kind of see it in everything now.
Like this one right here, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one that you sent in the chat where I was just like, oh man. Yeah, I don't like the legs and everything. Yeah, that one.
This one?
It's like, whoa. Yeah, that was a little
yeah.
Yeah.
It is really close. Well, all right. Well, guys, what do you think about this as an album?
It's not as good as I remember.
Goes without saying, but I feel the same way. But I also think that he was prophetic at some points in this. I think he had some good stuff in this album. I kind of wish he would have done more of the good stuff, but it is what it is. He needs to learn to write a bridge. But other than that, I mean, I still think it's one of the better CCM albums. Like, if you put it up there with, DC, I'd rather listen to this than DC Talk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, absolutely.
There were some triggering things in here, but it never pissed me off like DC Talk pissed me off. Going back to it.
Other than the first song, I think. Yeah, because the rest of the songs, I mean, if Jesus is for losers, which is just kind of his, autobiographical, I've come to Jesus thing. The Moshing Floor is kind of talking about the youth culture of, just being nihilistic, which is always that way. It's just okay, these kids don't want to work. And then what was the other one? Curses. That one's not really offending either. That's I think that's more of like biblical verses and everything that he took inspiration for that. But yeah, I just wish that he would have said something about Bannerman afterwards. Like I think you kind of have to address the person that you're giving a shout out to for their 3 life consecutive terms for kidnapping people. And yeah,
It
I'm
does
just
seem
like, dude,
noteworthy.
you'd think so. Like, and it was an effort to spread the word of God too. That's another thing. Like, it wasn't like,
Yeah.
it like wasn't an effort to kill someone or like
Right.
do something that it was, he thought that the world was ending, the rapture was happening, and this is the best way to get this out to people.
Right.
And it was just like, dude, you got to talk about that too, because he did the same thing, just in a different manner.
Correct. Yes.
So,
And it, but to acknowledge it would be to acknowledge mental illness, and that would be
yeah,
an unacceptable thing for Steve Taylor to do in general, in the community he lives in.
yeah. I mean, he did acknowledge some of the stuff with Jonathan David Brown, but he also did the thing where I hope he's finding his way in prison.
Yeah.
Like same thing with the Roland guy.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, 2 guys that you probably shouldn't have been mixed up with.
So doing the research for this, I Googled Steve Taylor politics, and I will say what did come up was a Twitter post from March of 2016, and he did say, if you're a Christian voting for Donald Trump, you've either lost your faith or lost your mind. And so I do appreciate that. He seems to have stayed with that vibe till now. So,
yeah.
He's been very political wise. He's been more on the left but that's not saying a lot when it comes to Christians.
Right.
right.
But he's very hardcore pro-life. And he's it to a point where I'm just like, ugh, I don't really like that. Like,
Yeah.
it's very overt and open. And I'm just like, I don't think you have all the information, sir.
Yeah.
Like, I know you think you do, but yeah, I don't think you can't sing about Bob Jones University being racist and calling them out for that and not realizing where the pro-life movement started
Right.
because of Bob Jones University being racist.
Right.
Right.
And it's like, you can't have it both ways, even though you do, but yeah, that part kind of aggravates me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know.
All right. Are we going to do it? Where are they now?
I have a little bit, Chaz. Do you have?
Yeah, I
this?
got stuff.
All
Yeah,
right. I
got
think
stuff.
you go for it.
Okay. After Squint, Taylor toured and put out a live album called Liver in 1995. It contained 2 Chagall Guevara covers. He would focus most of the rest of his time on producing. He produced Guardian albums, Buzz and Bottle Rocket. He saved sixpence from breaking up by recording, writing, and then forming his own record company, Squint Entertainment, to release their 1997 blockbuster self-titled album. He produced albums by The Insiders, Burlap to Kashmir, Prayers for Rain, and Chevelle. Taylor would convert to filmmaking in the 2000s after his 1996 film, Newsboys Down Under the Big Top, Clifton's favorite movie. I like that big poster you have behind you. It's really nice. Is that autographed too?
Yeah.
By the whole band. Damn.
The band back then.
Okay. Okay, great. Yeah.
Not
You
with
got the
Michael Tate. He's not in it.
No,
Oh, okay.
no. You got the John Joseph autograph though, so that's big money.
Yeah.
His first movie was called Second Chance, starring hardcore opportunist Michael W. Smith. In 2012, he directed the movie Blue Like Jazz. The film had issues getting made, so it would be partially funded through Kickstarter. So to save money on the film, he would produce and write music for the soundtrack. He would call up Peter Furler of the Newsboys, John Mark Painter of Fleming and John to start Steve Taylor and Some Band, later changed to Steve Taylor and the Perfect Foil. They have released 2 albums. Taylor also would work with Daniel Smith of Danielson Family to produce 1 EP. under the name Steve Taylor in the Danielson foil. Taylor has also produced a Christian's cartoon called Dead Sea Squirrels and produced a 2024 film called Sketch starring Tony Hale of Arrested Development, but it is distributed by Angel Studios, which I hate.
That's
and I made Steve Taylor know that I do not like that on his Instagram.
Okay.
And that's where Steve is right now. And I'm sure he's just like still making bank.
Yeah. Have y'all covered Blue Like Jazz on?
No.
Okay.
Oh shit, that seems like a good one for you guys. That would be.
Yeah. I'll have to do that. It's like I've read over like the synopsis of the film and everything and but I never read the book.
Oh, you did?
You never read the book? Oh wow.
No.
The book I remember
thing.
meaning a lot to me back in the day. I mean, I haven't
yeah.
looked at it since then. So
He cussed.
Did he?
That was a big part of like,
Oh
this guy's real. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
How am I gonna get to sneak that into my house?
I know.
Problem is, I don't know if I could make myself reread it now. You know?
Ugh.
Yeah, it'd be pretty brutal.
It was.
There's a book that I've wanted to read on the show and go through it, but each time I try to go through it, I get so aggravated, and it would take a long time to get through it. And that was that Man book from the late 90s,
Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
That would be harder to read than Blue Like Jazz. Yeah.
Yeah. More surprising is the fact that isn't the story of every one of your episodes. Like, the reason we never make an episode is because
I get so mad. No, that one made me mad because I'm like, you're so close to getting it.
Yes, like you've but here's the thing about Hucksters is they identify the problem.
Mm-hmm.
The end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very true. And I'm like, you're so close to writing a communist manifesto right now. You just need a little push, and like, and it's just like that's one of the frustrating things, and like just like also the comparing movies to real life, like Alex Jones does, and I'm just like, you fucking moron. Braveheart wasn't real,
right?
But anyway, go ahead. The Blue Like Jazz.
But the Patriot
I will read it.
The Patriot was real.
Yeah. I saw that opening night. Jesus Christ. I still want my money back.
All right, well, Chaz is gone now, so we can say nice things about him. Thanks, Chaz, for joining us for the episode. It was a lot of fun. This is a few days later now, so we're over the insanity that happened during the recording of that episode. But it was a lot of fun. And if you haven't already listened to it, we also recorded a little, what would you call it, Jay? Like a little...
bonus.
Yeah, bonus episode discussing Michael Tate and the Newsboys. But I think more talking about the initial reaction of the evangelical community to the news of Michael Tate being a rapist, which is mostly, oh, poor Michael Tate.
Yeah.
Don't
give it all away, Clifton. Come on.
It's free on Patreon for anybody, but it's only on Patreon. And that's patreon.com/YMSU. All right, Jay, what are we doing on the next episode?
Clifton, we are, for some reason, I'm just kidding, going back to more Christian ska and doing Buck, the band. And we are going to have a guest host 2 weeks in a row. This is crazy for us.
Whoa.
Zach from Jesus Stole Our Movies will be with us. Should be a fun episode. I am looking forward to it.
All right. Did you ever listen to this back in the day, Jay?
I did not.
Me either. So this is a new experience for the both of us.
Exactly.
Zach is bringing this one to us. All right.
thank you for joining us for another episode of Your Music Saved Us.
If you enjoyed your time with us, please leave us a review or share this episode. Visit patreon.com/YMSU to contribute and get extended episodes. Visit our website, yourmusicsavedus.com, to find out all the ways to listen. We're on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Join our Facebook group or follow us to keep up with the latest or interact with us. And send complaints and disagreements or compliments to yourmusicsavedus@gmail.com.
The music in this episode is the work of Steve Taylor and is used with apologies, not permission. If you want to check out Steve Taylor's stuff or buy anything, there's not a ton available online, although his albums, Steve Taylor and the Perfect Foil and Steve Taylor and the Danielson Foil, are available on Bandcamp from Sounds Familiar Records, the label that Danielson runs. So those are available to check out and purchase.
Interesting. Don't support his movies. They seem more insidious.
I haven't seen them, so I'm not gonna judge Clifton.
But they seem I mean, just the fact that one's on Angel, whatever that Angel.
Clifton's
thing,
casting first stone, everybody.
Poof, yes. It's true. I will take that upon myself. All right,
y'all. Thank you. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Hey mama, look at what your little baby's all become.